competition by Kamara Strawn, her teammate. And it looks as if it's only the two Bahamians in the field, is it? Well, Scott is getting ready for her second round effort, so let's see what she delivers here. Deary Scott sends the implement flying. That one won't threaten the record. Maybe falling short of the 40-meter mark.
It's early, but still a hearty cheer for that effort. The Bahamas fans tuned into the Javelin, and the purity of track and field is that this event is easy to identify what you must do. Throw further than your opponent. These two girls already matching throws at big distances.
And we have a history of this. We have the great Laverne Eve that threw the javelin for us for many, many years. She's been to the World Champs. She's been to the Commonwealth Games. She's been to every major championship there is out there. And we have a lot of respect and love for this event as well. So Laverne Eve made this event very popular in the country.
Twice Commonwealth champion, LSU NCAA champion, which is in college in the States. One of the enduring figures of Caribbean track and field, Laverne Eve. And sure, she's tuned into the show.
Definitely, I'm sure she is. This event actually is just becoming popular again. It's been on the low for a while, but it's getting back to its popularity, and you can see the girls, they're challenging themselves. So we're getting back to where we're supposed to be.
Jules of St. Lucia, competitor 417.
.37 meters and 10 centimeters this season for Jules. Saw St. Lucian silver last night in the pole vault, just about 10 o'clock. Jeremiah Felix, fist pump, bit of advice, nice smile from the coach, and a positive connection between coach and athlete, and he's going to reprogram and send her back out there.
Five competitors listed for this javelin throw on the 17 girls final. Two from the Bahamas, Jules from St. Lucia, Zala Lemons of Curacao, who steps up now for another attempt. And there's also Sebastiana Reyes of St. Martin. Lemons falls short of the 30-meter mark, that effort.
Tall girl will get stronger, and this is the under 17 javelin, of course, but nice body build for the event. Will get stronger, will get more dynamic and faster, and could come back here to CARIFTA with big throws in a locker.
You can see, you know, coach the athlete, as you said earlier, coaches, this is the time for coaches and athletes to trust each other, to know that this is it. We've been here before. The coach have to basically get the athletes motivated all over again after a big throw or a bad throw. And so once coaches have that conversation with the athletes, they know how to calm them down, they know how to rev them up and get ready for the next round.
Sebastiana Reyes on the runway. It's a lot of height on that one, but once again, falling just short of the 30-meter mark.
Short, herky-jerky run-up. Powerful arms, of course. Now that tall young lady able to generate power out of the arm, but needs a run-up to help guide the javelin out there. Bahamas back in focus in the under 17 javelin. They're the top two returners and the top two in this competition right now.
That means they're coachable, very coachable athletes. You can tell the ones that are very coachable. They listen, They pay attention, they focus, they study their craft. There's no questions, and they just do what you ask them to do, and that's it.
Homemade number, Camara Strawn of the Bahamas on deck.
Competitor 96. I'll try to get you the leading marks shortly. We do know that Strawn surpassed the previous record in her opening round. The record coming into this 44.57 meters set by Diore Scott, her teammate last year.
I really would like to know what goes on in the mind of an athlete standing up, waiting, knowing that hey, all focus and attention is on you. What do you do next?
I think this is where the training comes in. You know exactly what you need to do to prepare for competition. As Strawn steps up, fires that one out there. That's threatening the record again.
Missed the podium last year, Ricardo. Anxious to be big enough to get on the podium this year.
She is feeling very good this morning. And she is letting the implement fly, and it's flying a long way.
Jogs back to the sidelines for a little reprogramming. There's the instruction, keep your hand high. Release point needs to be high and forward so the javelin goes where you want it to go. Short advice session, 1 or 2 points hit by the coach, and she walks back with clarity about what to do in the next round.
And that's where the trust comes in. I trust my coach enough that he's going to give me the information that I need to take this javelin a little further and make it happen today. To walk away with the gold.
The trust built up with time, Chris.
Yes.
So when she goes in, doesn't need a long conference after her first couple of throws here, just tweaking. A little this, a little that, and hopefully we'll all come together. Strawn, looking strong in the javelin.
She definitely is.
Big girl, bigger than Scott. Run up a little bit more slow, but purposeful, and keeps the javelin high. And so far the results have been very good for her this morning.
And she's using all of it to her full advantage. She's taking full advantage of everything, the height, the body, just the mental. She's using it all today, and she's taking it in, and that's why you see she's where she's at front right now. So the pressure is off. She's relaxed. She's looking like, okay, I'm going to sit back and see what happens next.
So once again, looks as if the steel tape is out.
That's a good sign. It means that new standards are being set. Despite the work of Laverne Eve and Liver McCoy, a weak event for the CARIFTA Caribbean. The Cubans a bit different. They've had great results in the javelin in the past. But for the CARIFTA Caribbean, progress being made.
Definitely. And that's what you would want to see throughout the time. Progress.
There she is, Camara Strawn. On her way to dethroning last year's champion and her teammate, Diore Scott.
Measurement in progress to certify that last distance. That's where the tape goes to.
think we would like to give a shout out to all the hardworking staff that put this thing together to make this CARIFTA Games possible.
They're the quite heroes of track and field in the Caribbean, of course. They come out, many of them volunteers, taking time off from their daily jobs just because of the love of the sport
Yes.
and the love for young people. And they keep the sport going all across the region. And hard at work now because records need proper certification, steel tape out, and you see the great care taken by the measurement. They've gone from the 0 point up where the mark is back to the scratch line to make sure that the numbers are correct for both Scott and her challenger, Camara Strawn.
She's got to be feeling really good to know that she had the tape out several times for the day.
For sure, just 14 years old. Camara Strawn turns 15 on the 21st of May. So she will be back in this age category next year, like DeArray Scott, back to defend her title. If she wins this, of course, then she will return as the reigning champion, as the defending champion a year from now.
Just 14. Laverne Eve, big and powerful, and looks like Strawn is growing in that same mold. And the success that Eve had, maybe she too, Strawn, will walk in those footsteps and become a world-class javelin thrower in the future.
Has had opportunities to test this javelin runway this season. CARIFTA test event at the beginning of March. She threw a 42.00. Well, she threw 42.00 meters and then followed that up at the CARIFTA Trials and Bahamian High School Championships with a 43.59, which put her as the #1 athlete in the region coming into the CARIFTA Games. And she continues to improve here this morning, stepping up in a big way. And seemingly now twice breaking the record previously held by this young lady, DeArray Scott, a 44.57 performer from Kingston last year. And what must be going through her mind now as she looks to reclaim her record and retain her title. She knows that she is up against it, but there is still time for her to find a winning moment.
It's double jeopardy. To regain the title, she must break the record and put it so far out of reach that Strawn, who is obviously in the pink of form, can't get to it before the 6 rounds are complete. This is the defending champion, has to shoulder the challenge and rise to the occasion.
Saw it last night from Brendan Vanderpool in the pole vault open for boys. He was challenged by Felix of St. Lucia, and he shrugged off that challenge and went one better by breaking the CARIFTA record with a 5.06 meter effort. And now DeArray Scott must try and do something similar as she looks to retain her CARIFTA Games under 17 javelin throw title for girls.
Records hard to come by in this CARIFTA Games, but last night and today, they're starting to roll in.
46.07, the record mark thrown by Strawn. So she needs a personal best now, DeArray Scott, if she is to land the gold medal.
Left-hander, bouncy, heads down the runway.
Here is DeArray Scott, sends that one flying. And once again, well short of the 40-meter mark. Doesn't seem to be in the type of form she was a year ago, the 15-year-old. She too, quite young. Turned 15 on the 14th of March, which means that she can be back in this category next year as well.
Won it last year. Bahamas has the aces in the hole this year, and both girls will be back next year as well.
To be 14, their coach is doing something pretty good with them, because for you to be able to have 2 in the finals and going back and forth, that is excellent. these girls are 14 years old, you know. So sometimes the pressure gets to them. Sometimes you can be exhausted. This is day number 3, so it's a lot can be going on at 14 years old in your head.
46.07 meters, the new record mark. And the former record holder there on your screen, DeAray Scott, knows that she has a massive mark to chase. What must be going through her mind at this moment? If there is any consolation, it's another Bahamian that has it. And so the gold medal returned to the Bahamas. And the record. Once again, 5 competitors over there in the javelin throw for under 17 girls. The new record holder, Kamira Strawn, and her Bahamian teammate, DeAray Scott, the former record holder, along with Naya Jules of St. Lucia, Zala Lemons of Curacao, and Sebastiana Reyes of St. Martin. As we continue to have a look at DeAray Scott, last year's champion.
Has to focus. Challenge on our doorstep. If the challenger is from overseas, don't have to see them after the competition. Challenges your compatriot, see them often, then that can be trouble. This competition not over though, has to gather her thoughts and produce the best throwing of her life.
I think sometimes as an athlete as well, you can know where your body is at. And sometimes when you're in competition, you tell yourself, give it everything you have. But there are those days when deep down you feel as if it's not quite there.